in a little tent, and just like that river I've been running ever since. It's been a long. From the moment I saw you, I knew I was in trouble. Poetry in motion, my heart started to crumble.
So Rosie, we're here in Minneapolis. How are you feeling?
Tired, excited, tired, but I'm really excited. Just want to get there.
Almost there. Now, you've not been to Nashville before, so what are you thinking? Any expectations?
I'm just expecting it to be incredible, and just for to be music everywhere, and just have a nice time. To have a good old season. Crazy, crazy, beautiful, yeah, you're crazy, crazy, beautiful. I don't know how to express it, but I can feel the chemistry. It's like it's running between us, a kind of electricity.
So Rosie, here we are in the Willie Nelson Museum in Nashville, Tennessee. What do you think?
It's absolutely incredible. I didn't know how, over in England, he's big, he's like the biggest country singer going. I didn't realise how wonderful his life was. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And there's some amazing memorabilia here, isn't there?
It really is. I mean, all the costumes and all the clothing he used to wear, and his signed guitars, and yeah, it's quite cool.
And of course, you're going to be seeing him tomorrow. So how are you feeling about that?
I'm excited. I'm in the Willie Nelson Museum, and tomorrow I'm going to Miami to see Willie Nelson on stage. So that's pretty, I don't know what to say. It's cool. We just turned up and somehow we've got 3 seats, so I'm so excited. Taylor Swift got founded in here, and I can't believe we got into the Bluebird Cafe. I mean, we were looking weeks ago to try and book a table and we couldn't get one, and we've walked in and we've got one. How cool is it? Happy, you're beautiful right to the core. You make me happy, coming running back home. We're going to Denny's for breakfast. A proper Denny's, like a Denny's with a big sign, Denny's.
How are you feeling?
I'm excited. I'm happy, I'm excited, it's great. We're in Miami.
Now, you were at the Bluebird Cafe yesterday. How was that?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, it was so good. I cried. I actually cried at a song because it was just so beautiful. The songwriter's there, just absolutely incredible. I cried into my basket of chicken and chips, and my tears fell into my chicken.
And do you think is this trip proving to be all what you expected it to be?
Yeah, it's more than what I expected it to be. Nashville and Miami have lived up to their and more than their expectations.
And look at these blue skies.
Howdy!
What's up?
We're Levon. We're here with Rosie, and we are so incredibly excited to hear your new CD.
And I'm so incredibly excited to see you on stage.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so excited.
Thank you. Well, you and I should sing Change Is Gonna Come.
We should.
We're gonna make a recording
We
together.
should, together.
And we'll join in. We'll just be
Yeah, no, we need to involve these two as well. Yeah.
Okay, fine. The
I
boys
know,
will do
you're
it.
whatever.
You're good.
Too many hearts living life alone. Too many lost souls without a home. How can we make this world feel right when too many hearts need love?
So this is Studio B, and this room it's a little different than A. A has the big high ceilings and the live acoustics. Studio B is a smaller and more dampened acoustic environment, and it's really great for doing like a 5 or 6 piece rhythm section band. We do a lot of songwriter demos in here. In addition to, you know, Keith Urban uses this room. There's many clients that love this room. So it's a good overall multi-purpose studio and can, you know, handle anything.
So you mentioned Keith Urban. Who else has recorded in here?
You know what? I have to go look on my website. Honestly, I forget. Paul Simon has recorded in here. I think Paul recorded some sides on Edie Brickell, his wife, a number of years ago. So yeah, we've had several artists like that. Many times they'll come into Studio A and maybe record the band, and then they'll come over here and do vocals.
Yeah. So do you record vocals in there, or have you got vocal booths? Is there one at the
There
back?
are booths, but
I see a nice
it
grand
depends.
piano at the back.
Yeah, there's a 7-foot grand in the back,
Nice.
and a big booth on the left where we usually put guitars or vocals if it's a tracking session. Oftentimes we put the vocalist in here, which is kind of fun.
Oh, in the same room as the.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that way you're singing
background,
right here, and your
yeah,
producer's
yeah.
in here, and you can talk directly
Yeah,
to
it's
him.
easier, yeah.
So sometimes I think artists feel a little less detached
Yeah.
by being in here. So we do that, and then we've done. I tell you, one of the wildest sessions I did was a big session for Tokyo Disneyland, and they were recutting the whole suite of all the classic Disney music, and they had Studio A for the orchestral, and they had we had like a Dixieland band with 16-piece brass and rhythm. It was crazy.
Oh wow! Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So that studio in there, is it an old chapel?
It is. It was built 100 years ago, and it was a church until the 1970s, and then in the 90s it was converted into a studio. So it's quite beautiful.
Yeah, so is it still got its church features? I suppose the acoustics in there are incredible.
The acoustics are great. We've done a little bit of work to make them more optimal for recording.
Yeah.
But they're terrific. The ceilings are 35 feet high.
Wow,
There's about a 2,000 square foot room. And it still has the stained glass.
Yes, but I bet it's beautiful
It
in there.
is,
in the
it
sun,
really
when
is.
Sunlight's beaming
Yeah,
through it.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I was wishing my life away, trying to find that someone who feels the same. But I always get caught up in silly games, and whatever the one just went up in flames. Yeah, everything I've been looking for is right in front of me. Yeah. After all of this time, you're right in front of my eyes. I must have been blind, yeah, it's crazy. Baby, baby, it's you. I feel like a fool, how come I never saw you? Yeah, it's crazy. Baby, baby, it's you. Yeah, baby, it's you. You know it's always been you. Baby, it's you. I never bought into destiny, but I just can't deny there's a chemistry, and I ain't got a clue why I never see. Yeah, it's true what they say, can see the wood for the trees. Oh, and for the first time in my life, there's clarity. After all of this time, you're right in front of my eyes. I must have been blind, yeah, it's crazy. Baby, baby, it's you. I feel like a fool, how come I never saw you? Yeah, it's crazy. Baby, baby, it's you. Yeah, baby, it's you. You know it's always been you. Just like that river I've been running. In a little tent, just like that river I've been running.
Right, I'm here today with Rosie O'Sullivan, singer-songwriter, and we're here in Nashville. Yay! Can we do a little yay? Yeah! Rosie, it's wonderful to see you. Now, you've got such an amazing career already, and you're only 24, is that correct? So let's start at the beginning though. How did it all begin for you?
It all began when I was in year 3. So I was about 8-9 years old, and I always loved music when I was growing up, but I always wanted to be in the school choir. But you had to be in year 5 to be in the school choir. But luckily, my head teacher, Miss Tompkins, she said, "Go on then, Rosie, you can come and sing in the school choir." And then from then on, I never really looked back. A couple of years later, I then was put forward by my head teacher, Miss Tompkins, put forward to audition for the National Youth Choir of Great Britain. And I got in, but it was a classical choir. And I was always, I just loved music. So it was a classical choir, but I was always the kind of jazzy, soulful singer, and the rest were classical singers. And then I stayed with the National Youth Choir of Great Britain for the next, until I was 16, 17, and sang all across the UK, in the BBC Proms twice, and did incredible concerts in Tewkesbury Abbey,
Yes.
Symphony Hall,
Oh, fantastic.
the Royal Albert Hall at the BBC Proms.
Brilliant.
And then it carried on as I went to secondary school and things like that.
So you were 11, but this would have been before you were 11.
Yes, all before I was 11, in the choir. And I was the Bossy Christmas Fairy in my Leavers pantomime in year 6, and I sang my first ever song was Fields of Gold, and I sang that on the stage, and then from there I went to secondary school, and it was a big performing arts school, and I was in all the school shows there, so I did a lot of music theatre then in secondary school, and then I moved on to university where it all my songwriting and it all really started to happen.
So really then, Rosie, your whole kind of path, even from primary school, you decided, had you, that you were going to be a singer? Was it always something you knew you were going to do?
I think it was I was always going to be in music. I remember, I think I was in year 3 again and music lessons started, and I went to get a musical instrument and I ended up coming home with a trombone. And I remember presenting this trombone to my mum and dad, and they both looked at each other and went, okay. And then from there it went on to the clarinet, and I learned to play the clarinet, and then from the clarinet I decided I want to start singing. I started hearing songs like Heather Small Proud, another song that I've always loved, and Whitney Houston's and Nina Simone.
So always these big singers then for you. You've obviously had this sort of, have you had this tendency to sort of go towards these big singers, even from a younger age?
Yeah, from a younger age. My whole family upbringing was around soul and Motown and very distinctive voices like Whitney Houston, Macy Gray, all the ones that gravelly and just different. And then, when I was little, I was a 90s baby, so all the normal Barbie Girl and Spice Girls, you'd think I would listen to, but it was more Motown and soul and jazz and blues. Absolutely loved it.
So now you're here, Rosie, you've had some exciting things go on, haven't you? So you've been to a studio, is that right?
Yeah, we've been to a studio, Ocean
Way.
Yeah, Ocean Way Studios, and we've done all sorts of cool things here. We've been to studios. I've also been on a TV show, Nashville Entertainment Weekly, which I'm looking forward to seeing. I've also had a few meetings with Bobby Wilson's management, who is the son of Jackie Wilson, which is awesomely cool.
Yes,
so hopefully something will come out of that. And I've also been flown to Miami to see Willie Nelson live in concert, which was just absolutely insane. And he had a support band called Leave On, which were incredible as well. I got to meet them all, and they got to share the side of stage with Willie Nelson and watch from the side of stage.
How cool is that?
It was amazing.
And Leave On are an amazing band. I've interviewed them on my show myself, and I know that they're very hard working. And what a concert! What a fantastic, end to your stay here.
And what I loved about it was they're such a great band with great songs, and they're such lovely people. And a lot of the time, people in that kind of scenario aren't that lovely, but they really were. They're great people.
So Rosie, exciting times ahead.
Yes.
Exciting times ahead for you. So what's the plan? You're going to come back to Nashville? What are you going to do?
So the plan is to. I've got to go home tomorrow.
It's so sad.
But there is a plan to come back to Nashville, and we're planning on recording with Bobby Wilson, who's Jackie Wilson's son, and Bobby Wilson carries on Jackie Wilson's legacy.
Which is just awesome.
As
you've said.
And Bobby Wilson's coming over to the UK in September to do some gigs and some touring. So the plan is to come back and record with Bobby Wilson, and also meet up with some songwriters and get some more songs recorded.
Yeah, because you're quite keen on that, aren't you? You want to kind of, if you like, work with other artists,
work with other
songwriters,
and also perform. I mean, I do a lot of songwriting myself, but really the love of it, I just love singing and being on stage.
So you prefer to be performing
as
opposed to writing. But I mean, again, Nashville's a perfect place.
Yeah.
As well as the UK, of course.
Yeah.
So you've got kind of the world as your oyster.
Yeah.
You're going to be working, in the UK and Nashville, and you've made some good contacts here.
Incredible contacts.
And do you feel at home in Nashville? Is it somewhere where you could say, you'd like to come and work here and be here?
I do feel at home. It's me all over. Everywhere you go, there's live music, and the people are so lovely over here. And I think it's because we've all got the same personality. It's incredible over here, and I'm so excited to come back and record in the summer. I think we've got some things in the horizon with Leave On as well.
Yes,
which
we can't say too much.
We can't say too much, but that'll be cool as well.
But how wonderful that you're meeting these people and having such a great response to you and your music, Rosie, which for you as an artist must be, you must feel so humbled by that and so incredibly happy that people have accepted you. It's very difficult to come, over the pond, as they like to say.
Well, it's because a lot of people think it's mainly country over here.
Yes, they do.
So when as a soul R&B singer, coming over here, I was a bit, I'm not sure what's going to happen. And I remember because we filmed at the Belcourt Taps for our TV show, and I started singing, and then suddenly everybody, they were they appreciated it, and I think it was because it was a bit of a breath of fresh air, because it was something different, and they probably heard the English accent. Not that it's a very good one. It's got a big brummy overtone to it. But
nothing wrong with that.
So yeah, it really was a breath of fresh air to see that they really appreciate my kind of music. So.
And I mean, now, so you leave tomorrow, go back home, but it's always going to be here. And when you get back home, what's the plan for back home, Rosie? What's going on when you get back?
So I'll get back and I'll have a bit of a bump back to reality, because I teach singing as well. So I'll be back teaching singing, but working towards getting back in the summer. I've got a few gigs lined up, festivals. I know I've got a support slot with Diane Shaw, who's quite big in Northern Soul, so that's cool. And
That's
then,
very cool,
yeah, I'll probably, even though I've said it, probably get back in the studio and write some more songs, because Nashville's really
I was going to say, has it kind of inspired you?
Yeah, I mean, we went to the Bluebird Cafe this week,
Awesome.
and that was pretty amazing. And I heard a song that actually, you know, it's a good song. Well, I know it's a good song when it makes me burst into tears. I've worked with a producer back in England, and he wrote me a song, and that made me burst into tears as well.
So you've got that kind of, yeah.
So some of the songs that I heard at the Bluebird, I thought, this kind of could really work, the bluesy country vibe with the soul vibe.
Right.
So
it's giving you another kind of maybe a different outlook.
Yeah,
maybe,
different
music that
outlook.
you've written,
So
but brilliant. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to be with you the whole of this week. It's just been so great, Rosie, and I wish you every success. I'm sure you're going to be extremely successful. Your music is really, really good, and we look forward to your next chapter.
Yeah.
And maybe come over and join you in Nashville next time.
Definitely.
Let's get the next stage of this
Yeah,
lovely,
let's get
wonderful.
going.
Yeah, let's think. Anyway, thank you so much for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whenever the world left me feeling cold, it always remind me I'm not alone. Yes, I needed to know. Yes, I needed to
Anything I've done, folks who never worked and they forgot to tell.
be there to light up my way. So I needed to know. Yes, I needed to know. I will remember. I will remember in a little tent, just like the river I've been running.
To be continued.